Hey everybody! Welcome, welcome. Excited to see you guys. Okay, so I'm grabbing my notes because we're going to talk about good stuff tonight. Trim the fat from your life and be able to get really focused on what matters first and foremost. And I don't mean survival mode, I mean fulfillment mode. Everything that you're about to do in your next hours, days, weeks, months to come that you're going to create in your life is going to be created from this center place. Let's not create from survival or create from scarcity or create from fear or create from anxiety. Let's create from a place of deep inside of you. And so with that, this is where the yes and begins. So yes and is a principle of improv. And isn't it true that right now we are all improving a lot, right? There's all kinds of things that you got to be like, okay, I'm making things up on the fly. I'm gonna like, I got to get creative. I got to pivot. I got to improv right now because things are not normal. And that's probably a good thing because normal may not have been all it was cracked up to be. We do want some things normal, like the flow of income is good, right? Those basic needs, that flow of toilet paper, basic needs, some of that, but there's some things that we don't ever need to return to that old normal. A new normal can be a really good thing right now. So the yes and is yes means, all right, here is what I'm giving you. Now, what are you going to do with it? So yes and. So yes, I'll take that. I accept that. Yes is acceptance, is the principle of acceptance. And then and is now what? So here we are. Yes, I accept this is here. This whole change of life has happened. Now what am I going to do with it? So the yes and principle is a principle of acceptance, and it beckons you to answer the question, to answer it with an action, to answer it with an idea, to answer it with a willingness. Yes and. So how are you yes anding life right now? Right now, I want to be super transparent. I have maintained reaching out with my private clients over the last couple of weeks. However, everything else about my life has been off. Off, off, off. I have not been getting up for 5 a.m. runs. I have not had dinner on the table at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I have not been sleeping the same way. I have not had a schedule the same way. Everything is off. And I have felt like what? What is happening? The first week I went into solitude. I went to the mountains. There I always feel peaceful. And I felt this great need to do that. So that's what I did. But now I'm in like fire mode now. I'm in fire mode. That's why I wore sparkles tonight, because I was like, all right, time to show up. Time to show up. And with that, I bring this idea to you. Have you been in fetal position, prayer position, or proactive position? Which one has it been for you? Right there, write it in the chat. Fetal position, prayer position, or proactive position? Which one? Or have we gone through all three? Like maybe you started off in the prayer position, then you went to the fetal position, and now you're in proactive position. Personally, I think that prayer position and proactive position can be a continual, right? Let's have both. And whatever you mean by prayer, I know what I mean by prayer. You guys know what you mean by prayer, right? Whether that means meditation, having more faith, getting centered, whatever that means to you. Dina says, I got to admit, I freaked out, right? Okay. It's all cool. Let's pull it together. So can we all just right now, let's pull our shit together? Yeah, are we all in agreement with that? Shock, freeze, yep. Like, let's not have any judgment on each other, but let's make a pact and a commitment to ourselves and to one another. Like, okay, I'm pulling my shit together. Right now, make a commitment to yourself. I'm pulling my shit together. That's right. I'm putting it in the chat. Me too. If you're all in your commitment, write it in the chat right now. Write it out, sister. I'm pulling my shit together. You're making a commitment to yourself right now. Beautiful. Everybody's doing it. Okay. Shannon, okay. I'm pulling my shit together. All right. Woo. High fives all around. I'm pulling my shit together, and so are you. Boom. Knuckles. Woo. I love it. Oh, so Sarah says all three. Fetal position. Yeah, then she got better. So yeah, so Sarah had a love of her life that she once dated, is no longer dating, and had not been in that relationship, but he passed away this week. So other stuff, right? Other stuff is still happening. It's not just all about COVID-19. So our hearts go out to you, Sarah. I know that really hit you hard. Feel through that grief. Just feel through it. No suppression. No suppressing with food, no suppressing with just moving on. Feel what you feel, journal it, feel it, write it, cry through it, experience it. Let it move through you. It was very unexpected. Okay. And we know, Sarah, that you are pulling your shit together too. Oh no, she broke up with the fiance. Okay, this is more information that I did not know. I did not know that you broke up with the fiance. Okay. All right. So Sarah, let's pull your shit together. We need to talk, all right? On a side note. Okay, so love you, girl. Sending you lots of love right now. Okay, so this is where after you pull your shit together and you make that decision, I want you to really recognize, this is what I see all the time, and you guys have heard me say this before. When people say the struggle is real, the struggle is real, they tend to say that because they're in the struggle. So let's all just agree that life is that. It is a continuum, right, of the struggle. So let's not ever be in denial that the struggle isn't there. The struggle is real, sure. But the fastest way to end that struggle and to move on, because it's not like it's one massive struggle, it's one thing after another. This is life. We're constantly pivoting from one thing to the next. If you think that, right, it's all like when you get too used to things being the way that it is, oh, you're about to get hit hard, because that is life. That it's a constant shift. And the more we can embrace the struggle and embrace change, oh man, woo, we're like ready. We're in that proactive position. So being in that proactive state means that you are accepting, you are open, you are ready. Now, this is it. We aren't always ready for the circumstances that hit us because they throw us off. We're like, wait, that wasn't supposed to happen. Wait, I wasn't expecting that. Wait, no, why? All of that questioning makes us get stuck. That's what actually makes us get stuck, is the more we start to go, but that's the resistance. But no, that wasn't supposed to happen like that. That's the resistance. But when we look at life from the bigger vision, from the bigger view, we see that that's just constant. Go back, look at your history. You'll see it wasn't all rainbows and unicorns, right? And look how strong you are. Hello, look how strong you all are. Look how strong you all are. I could look at each of you right now and point, like the people that are here right now, I tend to know some things about you. And I could point them out and be like, I know this, I know that, I know this, I know that, I know things you've overcome. So can you just recognize right now inside yourself, those things are what made you so strong here. Time to pull that out. Because when you pull out that strength, guess what happens? You start to trust yourself again. That place right there inside of you, where you trust yourself to know what to do next, to trust yourself that everything's going to be okay, to trust yourself that you're going to figure it out. That is your strength. And that is the place right now that you can start making decisions from. Trust yourself. Now, I have a really important distinction that I want to make sure I just qualify right now. And I see this in my work and in working with all of you, whether it's on an audience level or one-on-one or in our group coaching where I've kind of got to know you more, and certainly one-on-one, I end up knowing intimate details. What I've noticed is that sometimes you base your confidence and your trust in yourself in two different areas, and sometimes you get them confused. Sometimes you get caught up in worthiness. Well, you start to question your deservability on what you can create in your life. Well, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'm enough. I don't know if I'm capable. I don't know if I'm strong. I don't know if I'm deserving. I don't know if I'm worthy. You start to question your worthiness when you step out. And that's different than your skill sets. Your worthiness and your skill sets are two different things. Skill sets are those things that you've picked up along the way. Those skill sets have a strength all in and of themselves. They are things you've learned. They're things that you have learned from school, learned from a job, learned from experience, learned from relationships. Those are skill sets. But worthiness is there because you are. Worthiness is that place inside yourself that's inside your heart that you don't even need to question. Worthiness is your gift that you were born with. Let's not get that confused with your skill sets. Now, a lot of times you've got skill sets that you're not even using because you question your worthiness. Well, I know how to do this, but I'm not sure if I'm the one that should go out there and do that. Well, I know how to do this, but I'm not sure. Am I good enough? I know how to do this, but I don't know if I'm the one to lead. So I want to make sure we really qualify that these two things, your worthiness is what it is. You have a gift, you have a talent, you have a belief in yourself. And man, when you trust that that space is just yours to do what you wish with, because that is living a full life, then you're going to find that right now, during this time of uncertainty, when you need to really depend on these skill sets that you have, that you don't let your worthiness stop you. Because right now we got to get scrappy, y'all. We need to get out there with skill sets that may be different than what you've already been doing. It's time to pivot. And so it's important for you to decide, okay, what is it I know how to do? And be willing to start putting that out there. Be willing to put that out there. Because let's get really defined on what some of these areas of are right now that you need to make some decisions around. So when we are moving forward, the fastest way to end the struggle that you're feeling right now is to start making decisions. Make decisions for your money. Make decisions. And if you don't have any, okay, how are you going to make it? Make decisions for your faith. If you don't have faith right now, okay, what do you need to do to start having more faith? Make decisions for your family. Okay? If they don't know what to do, you be the leader. What do you need to do for your family? Are you reaching out enough? Are you helping them to feel safe? Are you helping them to feel loved? Are you helping them to feel like somebody's got their back? Make a decision around your health. What are you doing right now for your health? Are you doing what you can be doing? Like Jana said, I got on my bike today. I did 4 miles. Awesome. Those kind of things are what you can be doing. If you're spending too much time in front of the computer right now, I guarantee you can be doing something for your health. Even if it's something completely basic like breathing. Really doing focused breathing can change anxiety in your body. If you sit down for 3 minutes and do 3 minutes of deep breathing, I absolutely promise you your blood pressure will change. Your cortisol levels of stress hormones will go down, and you will feel differently 3 minutes later. That's something you can do. That's like the simplest thing you could do for your health. From there, there's probably more you can do. You could maybe go out and walk. You could maybe do some exercises in your house that are some kind of resistance training, doing push-ups on your counter. Like, this is the time to get scrappy and open your mind to the possibilities. What are the decisions that you can make for these areas of your life? For your money, for your health, for your family, for your faith. Right? I'm putting them into the chat. Make decisions. The fastest way to end the struggle is to make decisions. Now, we're making decisions knowing, okay, another struggle is going to come somewhere else down the road. That's just life. That's what happens. But get good at making decisions. So often, the reason we're not making a decision is because we don't want to. Maybe there's something that is going to cause, like, you're going to have to sacrifice and you don't want to. Or you're going to have to change something that feels really comfortable right now and you don't want to. What is that? What's that thing? Right? Yeah, maybe you don't want to do something, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. This is a time to, your comfort zone's beckoning you to get out of it. And you guys, that is always a good thing. That's always going to put you in a more proactive state. And when you are in a proactive state, it's you saying, okay, I'm ready. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. It's a mindset. And so check yourself. Check yourself. What do they say? Do a checkup from the neck up. Yeah. Check your mindset around your money. Check your mindset around your faith. Check your mindset around your health. Check your mindset around your family. You're being called to trust yourself, to trust your skill sets, and to have faith in your worthiness. Can everybody just say that? I am being called to have trust in my skill sets, to have faith in my worthiness. That's how I'm putting it. Yes. So this is where I want us to get just really, really intentional. When we are making decisions, we can make it decisions from fear, from being scared, from what ifs. That is not, everybody say it with me, not a place to make decisions from. Make decisions from a state of intention. Intention. I know y'all know that word, but sometimes you forget it. Make decisions from a state of intention. I love what intention really means. And it is time for you to get intentional, which means like get focused. When you get intentional, this is what happens. There is a superpower that happens. When you get intentional, you get this superpower that happens. It is not just like, okay, let me make a decision, like this black and white, like, okay. Intention is this force to be reckoned with, this power part of you, because when you get your mind focused, you make things happen. Okay, just go ahead, try to argue that point right now. Tell me, when you get your mind focused on something, don't you get like super powerful? Like you just get in it. Is that true for you? I want to know. I'm just going to sit back for a moment. I want to know. Everybody use that chat. When you make your mind up, isn't it true that you make something happen? Yeah? Everybody share what you think right here. When you make your mind up, isn't it true that you make shit happen? Yeah? Yeah. You got to get out of your head and into your heart. Out of your head and into your heart. Now, I talk a lot about the power of the mind, right? I'm always talking about the power of the mind, power of the subconscious mind. Y'all, when I am talking about the power of mind, I am not talking about your head. I'm not just talking about this little front part of your reasoning and your analytical mind. Your mind is your entire power. If you study anything about the subconscious mind and about spirituality, oh, that is superpowers. Now we're talking about heart connected, spirit connected, soul connected. The mind encompasses all of you. It encompasses the nervous system between your brain and your body. Like your body is intricately connected to your head. And oh my gosh, it is literally holding information. Your gut, we know now, has a brain all in and of itself. How you digest information, how you digest life. Your mind is all of you. So when I talk about the power of the mind, that is what I'm talking about. And it's true that when you get your mind focused, you make stuff happen. So get out of your head, get out of overthinking, get out of fear. Now, fear actually comes from that little almond inside your brain. It's this big, y'all. Come on. Fear is that amygdala space, right? It's literally like the shape of an almond in your brain. Really? Are you going to let that little tiny thing dictate what you're all about? Really? No. Time to get your whole self on board. So this is what I want you to do. Start to get super intentional. What are some intentional things that you can make happen this week? And I want to just share this for a moment before you guys give me your answers. I want to give you a hack on productivity. Are you guys all ready for a productivity hack? Because really the fastest way to get on track is to have a routine. And I feel like y'all need a productivity hack. And here's my productivity hack. You want to pay attention to how it feels. So I want to clarify what I mean by that. So this is the how it feels productivity hack. So the productivity hack is, how do you feel when you feel confident? How do you feel when you're going to work and you're feeling all on top of things? How do you feel when you make something happen? What are you wearing? What does your hair look like? Do you have makeup on or not makeup on? What are your favorite shoes? What do you eat? How do you feel when? And do that So I'll give you an example. This week I was talking to a private client and she's like, man, I'm having trouble like getting myself to do my work. And she's a solopreneur and she has clients, and that she is she's just starting to like really make her business happen. She came from a corporate job and now she's doing work all on her own. And she has a ton of skill sets. We talked about skill sets, right? She has a ton of skill sets that she's now monetizing and getting new clients. She's selling her skill sets. And she's like, man, I'm having a hard time like getting it together. And I said, okay, well, what is it like when you were working for the corporate job? What was it like for you? And she says, well, like I'd always, put makeup on and I'd make sure my hair looked good and I'd get on my Zoom calls. And a lot of times I would either work out in the field or I was working from home in my home office and I would get on Zoom meetings. I'm like, okay, so what prevents you from doing that now? And she's like, oh, well, nothing really. I just got to get out of my yoga pants. And I got to get a routine going. I've got to, make a list. Who am I going to contact? Who can I reach out to? Aha, exactly. And so I said to her, okay, so what can you do to get yourself going? You want to leverage that. And she was like, well, I could put some makeup on. I could get my hair done. I could get in front of my computer screen, my computer camera, and start calling people. I could get on the email and start reaching out. Exactly. What do you think that kind of result that's going to produce by the end of next week when you do that? And she was like, oh my gosh, like totally different than what I've been doing this week. Exactly. Exactly. So what do you, and whether it's a work thing or whatever it is, how do you feel when? So I want you to answer that. Cindy says, I like the feeling of being a badass. Exactly. That's why I go running. I always feel like a badass when I go running. Because for me, I'm running and I'm thinking I'm running like, 4-minute miles. And they're really like 11-minute miles. But it makes me feel like a badass. That's why I go running. So I want you to notice that how it feels hack. So how does it feel when? And I want you to do that. Use it as a hack to get you going, okay? So it's the as if principle. So how it feels when I'm confident. Okay, so do it today as if you feel that, as if you feel confident. So what is it that you need to do? What is it you can do to get yourself going, to trust yourself more, to have faith in yourself and look at your skill sets and go, okay, what can I do right now to get things going for myself, to help myself monetarily, to help my family, to deepen my faith, to help my health? What can I get going? So now I want to turn this back to you guys, because here's the thing. Why does all this matter? I'm putting that question in there. Oops, I put it only to Dina. Let me put it to everybody. Hold on. How do I change that? Here we go. Everyone, there we go. Why does all this matter? Let's answer that. Why does all this matter? You know why? Because it's your life. In your life, you're living it right now. And so what you do with this time matters. You're setting yourself up for your future right now. Your future is happening tomorrow. Your future is happening next week. Your future will be here 1 month from now. That's why it matters. So we all need to be purposeful. So being productive means that you might go organize something. Being productive means you're going to put a routine together. But let me tell you this. I would love you to up your game of productivity to make it a purposeful game, even more so than just a productive game. Because a productive game, makes you feel good. A productive day feels good, but purposeful is fulfilling. Being purposeful takes productivity from here to here. Productivity, it takes it from outside to inside, makes it purposeful. Productivity means I can look at what I did, but purposeful means like I feel good about what I did. I love myself for what I did. I can trust myself. I love who I am because of how I spent my time. That takes it to a whole nother level as far as like, whoo, on a scale from 1 to 10, it takes it to 10. Be purposeful. Purposeful is meaningful. Where there is no meaning, there is no purpose. And where there is no purpose, there is no motivation. So if you're not feeling motivated right now, it's because you're not being purposeful. So take your intentions, be purposeful with them, and make a decision for yourself. Woo!